Hi, everyone, and welcome to this introduction to the Master in Consultancy and Entrepreneurship. My name is Francesco. I'm a 23-year-old student, and I'm Italian. I started this master in September 2021, and during this brief presentation, I'm going to tell you more about how this course is structured, what you can gain from this course, and what could be your future once you are finished. So, moving on, we can talk about the master structure, which is first thing first is just 1 year, which means that it's a full-time master program, and you are basically going to do 4 different blocks, as you can see on the slide. And it's a business related master, which means that all the subjects involved have something to do with the business world. There are 2 cohorts, meaning that, for instance, I am from the September cohort, but there are other people that start in February. So you can start whether in September 2022 or in February 2023. And well, just for giving you an idea of the subjects involved, we can say, for instance, that in the first block, the first subject is design thinking and creativity, meaning that you are going through some models that will help you both in the consultancy and in the entrepreneurship world. So you have basically the chance to apply what you learn both in a consultancy and in an entrepreneurship world. I would like to underline the fact that most of the subject have some aspects related to the consultancy world and the entrepreneurship world. So it means that you can basically take something from each subject and you will have the chance to apply that knowledge to those 2 words, meaning that it's true for some subjects you may have some difficulties trying to understand how you can apply what you are learning, whether to one or the other one. But at the same time, I would say that it's also a very nice element because you have the chance to apply different things and skills to both basically environments. There are many other subjects, as you can see, but for instance, one of my favorites has been consulting intervention, and it's also been very interesting because we had the chance to gain some knowledge with external companies, and thanks to some experts that came to talk. So it was also interesting to see how real life cases look like and how what we are learning could be implemented in the real life. Other subjects, for instance, prototyping, it's very interesting because you have the chance to put into action what you're learning to whether your company or a company that you're working for the final thesis, but I'm going to tell you briefly about that later. So coming back to prototyping, you have the chance to learn new things, and you also have the chance to apply those things to, for instance, your company, or trying to understand how could I develop more my idea, or how could I grow my company for the future, and so on, so on. When it comes to the first block, you have some subjects like, for instance, storytelling and pitching, which will help you through, for me, sometimes it's been a tricky process because it's about how can I tell or how can I sell what I'm trying to sell, or how can I convince my client of what I'm going to do. So this is basically what storytelling and pitching is about. When it comes to business solution design, as you can see, is the only subject that starts in September or February and ends after 1 year. In a sense, it's basically the thesis. So business solution design is the subject, and you will have to develop your business solution report, which is, as I said, in essence, a thesis. And it's also important because it will help you through the entire process, meaning that you start with an idea, better defined as a problem, and since day one you try to understand how can this problem be solved, and thanks to which tools this problem can be solved, and what's the process that I need to follow in order to solve this problem, reaching the end of the program where you will have to basically develop and show a report of your job saying, okay, this was the problem and this is the solution that I suggest. Another important subject is international project, which in my personal case, me and my class have just finished 10 days ago, which is a project pretty long, I would say, because it's around 4 months. So basically you start doing some, how can I say? You start going to a company, this company is defined as the problem owner, and you try to understand what's the real problem and how you can help the customer, let's call it that way, to solve this problem. It's important because I would underline that it's not only a matter of consulting, but it's also helpful when it comes to what can I learn from this company and how can I apply what I learned to my possible future company. So it's not only about me helping someone else, but it's also about gaining knowledge and trying to improve that knowledge to my future company. Well, moving on, we have applying relevance because this is a University of Applied Sciences, so it's not based on theory, meaning that it's extremely important to be able to put into action what you're learning to real life companies and real life situations. So you will find yourself in situations where you will need to prove and to show how your solution could be helpful to the client or to your own project. And well, there are some guest lectures. We had so many so far. Even though the pandemic is not helping, there is always a way to find a solution. Pressure cooker, it's very interesting because it's a full-time week as the entire program, but it's a very intensive week where you start with an idea and basically you reach the end of the week trying to offer a solution about the problem that you learn on the first day. And well, yeah, at the end of this week there are also some very small prizes, but it's more important to see how the client is happy of what you have done, or I don't know, there is always something to learn, I would say. So it's very interesting. Then there are other international projects, which is what I told you about before. Research and thesis, which is related to the business solution design subject and the final thesis. Integrated assignments, which are about how can I put into action what I'm learning, and basically everything related to the real life world. Annual events, so far we didn't have the chance to join so many annual events, except for, of course, the virtual ones, but it's, at least in my opinion, it's something interesting as well. And then company visits, which you basically have the chance to go to companies and see how they're working or trying to understand how things could be implemented and so on and so forth, which is also something related to the international project that I was talking about before. When it comes to the entry requirements, there are some things that must be underlined. So for this master, you need to show a business bachelor degree. And if you don't have a business bachelor degree, there are two options. Well, first, with business bachelor, non-business bachelor, we mean any bachelor that is not business related, of course, such as engineering or communication. And there are two ways for proving that you can basically join this master. The first one is to show proof of 2+ years of working experience. And the second one is to show that you have done at least 50% of your subjects during the bachelor related to business. In addition, you have to send your CV and your motivational letter. When it comes to the tuition fee, because it's not funded by the government, this master has the same price whether for European people and for non-European people, which is over 12,000. And well, for those of you that are Italians out there, it might be necessary to show some English proof. According to different tests, you will be asked to show different minimum entry levels. When it comes to the application deadlines, instead, for the September intake, for those that are non-EU, is the 1st of May, and for those that are European, is the 31st of July. For the February intake, For those that are non-European, it's the 1st of October, and for those that are European, the deadline is the 31st of December. Then when it comes to links to companies, as I said before, I would like to emphasize once more that it's very, very active. I mean, it's an environment where every day you have new challenges, every day you learn something, and every day you have the chance to apply what you are learning. So even though this list is not full, there are around 60 companies that are working with the universities. And well, one of my favorites, personally speaking, is the Venture Cafe, because I would describe it as a bar/pub where you have the chance to meet new people, not only students, but also people that have an idea or people that are starting their startup and they're looking for someone. So it's also a nice place to where to go for finding eventually a future job. And reaching the end of the presentation, I'd like to tell you a bit more about myself and what I think about this program. So as I said, my name is Francesco. I'm from Italy, and at the beginning, I have to admit that I struggled a bit, especially the first 2 weeks, because I studied a bachelor in business administration at the University of Turin. So for those of you who basically know how things are going at the universities in Italy, especially my course, was very extremely theoretical. So moving from a theoretical university to an extremely practical university was a bit, let's say, scary for me at the beginning. But I'm very glad to say that now I'm happy of the decision that I've taken, because it's very interesting, first of all, useful, second, to have the chance to put into action what you are learning and to show to customers, or I don't know, even only to the teachers, what you are doing and how you are doing, and basically the process that you're following in order to reach the final solution. What else can I say? Well, so far I gained a lot of knowledge about consulting, meaning how can I approach the client, or how can I truly understand if the client is telling me what is the problem about, and especially how can I define a problem and how can I shape a problem, meaning for instance, at the beginning, I thought that some things were considered to be as a problem, but now I can say that there are some aspects of a problem that are not actually the main core. So you can basically understand how you can reach the end in the best and more efficient way possible. Well, one thing that I've already stressed quite a lot, but I'd like to emphasize once more, is the link with the external companies. So having the chance to basically talk to external companies, trying to understand if and how you can basically help them. And yeah, maybe you also have the chance to find a job even before finishing the master. And what else can I say? Well, when it comes to the future, meaning after this master is completed, you basically have the chance whether to start working for a big consulting firm such as KPMG, Accenture, PwC, or looking for, I would say, almost any other company, business related, or that are trying to develop new technologies, and that's it basically. I mean, I spoke with a guy that was trying to develop his own company, and he was looking for someone defined as a problem solver. And yeah, this is the proof that you can basically join any kind of company related to whether consulting or not. And of course, you also have the chance to start your own company or to improve your company if you already have one. And I think that I said everything that I was thinking about. So for now, I wish you all the best. Good luck with your admission. And well, I hope to see you at the university. Have a nice day.